Welcome to Flipped Classroom. This unit is number and we are looking at the order of operations. Our learning intentions are we are learning the order of operations to solve equations, and our success criteria is I am successful when I understand the rules of order of operations and I can evaluate numerical expressions using different operations. As a bit of a startup, can you work out the following equation? 3 minus 3 times 0 plus 3 divided by 3. Now, this is sometimes found on the internet. People put this up as challenges on different social networks, and people write down different answers. And for this expression, some people will put down the answers of 1, 2, or 0 for this. However, the answer is 4, and we're going to look at how we can work that out. So the order of operations is the order in which we evaluate the operations in an expression, and it goes in this order. So first off, we evaluate the operations that are inside a set of brackets. Next, we evaluate the powers, and this could be to the power of, or it could be a square root. After that, we evaluate the multiplication or division. And finally, we evaluate the addition and subtraction. If we have multiple powers or multiple multiplications or divisions or multiple additional subtractions, we work from left to right. So let's look back at that expression. We have our expression down the bottom. So as there's no brackets or powers, we're going to skip those first two steps and go straight down to the multiplication and division. And we're going to do multiplication first because that's on the left-hand side of this equation. So I do 3 times 0, and that works out to be 0. So I rewrite the equation underneath, and our next step is to do the division because we've got rid of that multiplication. Now we've got that division. So let's do the division. And we get 3 divided by 3 becomes 1. So again, I've rewritten the equation with just that change. And I'm working down the page with my equal sign underneath. So our next step, we're now onto the addition and subtractions, but we need to go from left to right. So we're going to do the subtraction first. So 3 minus 0. 3 minus 0 is 3. So I've written down that 3 and I've left the plus 1 on the end because we haven't done that operation yet. And now we've got that one operation, we can do that addition. And we're left with 4. Now, a way to remember our order of operations is using a mnemonic. A mnemonic is a memory skill by using what we need and putting it either into a word or into a sentence so that it's easy for us to remember. For order of operations, the most popular ones are either BODMAS, BIDMAS, or PEMDAS. Now, sometimes people might rearrange it. So instead of BODMAS, it'll be BOMDAS, but they are basically the same type of thing. But with all cases, we need to remember that multiplication and division happen at the same time. So we need to go left to right, and addition and subtraction happen at the same time. So we need to go left to right with those operations. And if you have a look at the images on the right hand side, you can see that multiplication and division are usually in the same color, and same with addition and subtraction. Now let's do a worked example. I'm going to put my thinking on the left hand side and what I'm going to write down for my teacher on the right hand side. Step 1 is to write out the original expression. That way my teacher knows what equation I'm working on. So I've rewritten the expression. Next, I need to start with the operations that were inside the brackets. So I have -2 plus 4. We can use our number line if we need to, is +2. So I'm going to rewrite that equation with just that one change there. The next step is to look at the powers. And I know that 3 squared is 3 times 3, which is 9. So I'm going to rewrite the expression again. So I've got 2 times 9 minus 5 divided by -5. And you'll notice again, I'm following down the page with my equal signs. The next step is to do the multiplication and division. Because multiplication and division are separate, we can do them at the same time. So I've done 2 times 9, which is 18, and I've done 5 divided by -5. and that ends up to be -1. I'm not going to look at that sign in front of that first 5. I am just using that 5 as a +5. And then finally, I'm going to do the addition and subtraction. In this case, we have a subtraction. We have 18 minus -1. And if we remember back to our directed numbers, 18 minus -1 is the same as 18 plus 1, which is 19. For our reflection today, why is it important to have an order in which we solve the expressions? As always, like the video and subscribe for more videos on maths.